Okay, it's recording now.
Cool.
Okay. Let me get back to my thing. So for the recording, will you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Marty Mac, teacher at Swansea High School. Do a unified PE class for Special Olympics training and 32 years experience. So
Great, thank you. So
close to the end. So yeah.
We are in an adapted PE masters at Carolina, and we have some questions for you about your athletes and your experience. So the first one, we've been learning about motivating athletes. So when athletes feel competent or challenged to reach competency, their motivation will most likely increase. Or if the task is too easy, the participant might become bored or uninterested. How do you modify tasks to the needs of all your athletes to keep them motivated?
The beauty part of our unified PE class is that the Special Olympics is what drives my curriculum. So we're constantly training for Special Olympics competitions, and they take into consideration skill levels. So if you have an athlete that is unable to dribble a basketball and they can just shoot, but they can shoot at a 10-foot rim, they have a team skills. We call it pass, shoot, where they get points for passing, catching, and shooting. We have an MATP skills modification that I created. A little pat on my own back here for a second, but we started out where they were just throwing the basketball into a laundry basket on the floor. And I said, that's not right because everybody else is shooting into a basket. So I had our welding class take basketball rims and weld me 3-foot legs. So now they get to shoot into a basket like everybody else. Because we're able to train and compete at their own ability levels, they're always challenged to try and get a little bit better. They're never overwhelmed, and it's never too easy for them. So that's the good part of what we do with Special Olympics in my unified PE class.
Great, thank you. I'll make a note real quick. I know I'm recording, but.
Yeah, it's okay. No hurry, take your time.
Jay, do you want to do yours next, and then I'll just do the
Sure.
other two after? Okay.
Okay, so we learned about the main objectives of coaching. The 3 objectives were the desire to win, the development of the athletes, and just having fun. And there was a big debate on how coaches rank them. And we were wondering how you decided how you would rank those 3 when you're coaching those kids that have special needs.
Pretty much in reverse order. Having fun and enjoying and becoming movers and being physically active. There's a lot of inactivity in the special needs population. So if we can make it fun for them where they enjoy the experience, that's priority 1 for us. Number 2 is if we can have fun and still get a little bit better, then the winning will kind of take care of itself down the road. But obviously we want them to enjoy what they're doing and have a good time first and foremost.
I love that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Logan, you can take it away.
All right, so 2 more. The next one, as we know, before you get into drills, practices, and games, one of the most important jobs as a coach is to create a positive team culture. So in your 32 years, what are some strategies that you have used to promote a good team culture?
Well, first of all, the unified program that we do, there's an application process. So we get to handpick students that want to be in that environment and deal with our students with intellectual disabilities. So obviously they want to be in there first and foremost. And then I give them the opportunity to become more coaches and leaders. So the our athletes that come into this class, they come in various levels. We've got some that are nonverbal all the way up to ones that actually get diplomas. But they have autism and they have disabilities that make things a little bit challenging for them. But they all still they're given the option to take the class too. So these are students that want to be in there. So you're not forcing anything on them as far as, you got to be here, you got to do this, you got to do that. They want to be in here. And because of that, the chemistry usually works really well. The unified partners, the regular ed kids that we use, I give them challenges. They're coaches. They're not just participants and playing with them. Now, there are times where when we're getting ready for, say, fall games, and I have a team that's doing volleyball, I have a team that's doing soccer, and I'll have some individuals that want to do bocce. We have TAs in the room. I'll send them, but they'll be in 3 different spots on campus, and I'll have to rove around to make sure that, they're doing what they're training, and just to get eyes on them and make sure that my unified partners are teaching the right things, that the skills and drills that they're doing are ones that are going to help them get a little bit better, but still making it fun. So that camaraderie, that chemistry that we have is really not hard to develop in our world.
Cool. So one more. It says, during Special Olympics practice, how do you select which participants do what events?
I give them their choice.
Okay.
All right. So like to start the school year, we know we're going to host a bocce tournament in our football stadium. So everybody's going to do bocce. For fall games, I'll let them choose. All right. If you want to do volleyball, you want to do bocce, you want to do flag football, you want to do soccer, we give them a choice. And, I've had athletes that were, pretty high functioning and they wanted to do everything. So each year they would do something different. I got some that just absolutely love soccer. So they're going to play soccer every year. I let them choose. That way we're not forcing anything on them that they might not want to do. It might not be as fun for them as if something they chose. Now there's some that we kind of encourage, you might not be able to do volleyball at a team level. So maybe you want to try this and kind of guide them into something that will allow them to be successful. But ultimately, for the most part, they get to choose what it is they want to do or what it is they want to play and perform. So, they're motivated and really enjoy it.
Jay, are you AP as well?
Yes.
Okay. Do you also do unified sports?
I coach at a private gymnastics gym. I've never coached in a public school, so no.
Okay.
Getting there. That's the whole point.
Yeah, so I'm general PE, so I don't teach adapted PE, and we don't have unified either. But I'm in the process of trying to get unified sports.
Yeah.
Marty, was your school already unified when you got there, or did you kind of implement that?
When I started our unified class, there were 2 other schools in the state that were doing unified PE, Sumter High School and Airport High School. And one of our special ed teachers went to visit Airport one day and came back and said, "This is what we want to do. Will you do it?" And I said, absolutely, because I've always had a great rapport and relationship with our special needs population. The impact that the unified class has had on our school environment is unbelievable. And now it's filtered down from us to the middle school. And now every school in our district is a unified champion school.
I love that.
A real quick kind of to tell you what that means is I had an autistic kid snap one day in the gym, wanted to physically harm me, was chasing me around the gym, screaming, hollering. Our head football coach, whose classroom is kind of up next to the gym, calls me and says, "Is somebody getting murdered down there?" It was that loud. Our kids never stopped playing basketball. They never stopped moving. They kept doing what they were doing because they're used to kids having outbursts in the school environment. I finally had to tell them, "Guys, y'all need to go to the bleachers." Well, they went straight to the first row of bleachers and sat down. I said, no, y'all might need to get a little higher. Climb, please. This kid really wanted it. And it's because they're so used to that. It's absolutely amazing. Our kids don't get bullied. Our special ed kids do not get bullied by the gen ed population. Now, they'll bully each other sometimes. But the gen ed population at our school is so accepting, and it's because they've grown up with it from kindergarten through. It's phenomenal. And if Logan, if you guys get to that point where you want to kind of start it, please reach out to me. You guys have my email address. I've gone to schools. I've talked to teachers and coaches about doing this. I know what the impact is. I was actually on a committee. We wrote a unified PE curriculum for Special Olympics North America. You can go to the website and look it up. It's got lesson plans. It's got all kinds of stuff in there. But if there's anything I could do to help you get that going, please let me know.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I work for administration that gives me professional days if I need to go to a school and do stuff. So
I'm in Michigan, so you'd have to take a vacation.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't see me travel. I don't think they're going to give me that, but
I'm in South Carolina, and Charleston really needs your help because
spread the word, because I know the impact that it's had. And I saw, we just came back from the USA games in Orlando last week, and to see 6,000 people just at the environment down there it was amazing. It really was. It's hot as blazes in Orlando and humid as can be, but it was amazing.
It's bad here right now too. It's 96 right now.
In Michigan,
96. I'm dying up here.
Yeah. It's
the heat
96
index
in
is
Michigan.
also like 110 right now.
Yeah, 96 in Michigan. It's bad.
But anyway, that's anytime I get a chance to get on that soapbox, I'm all over it. So,
well, that's why we hired you. We need your input. Let me see if there's anything else we kind of glazed over. And my first question, have you experienced, I know you said that your program doesn't really allow for kids to be overly challenged. How do you deal with anxiety and nervousness about new skills or new sports?
Basically, we just encourage them to keep trying it. Don't give up. Eventually, they'll get to the point where they have enough success and can do things well enough that they do experience some success. We have to make modifications for some. Like, we have some that physically can't roll the bocce ball, so we've taken PVC and made a chute that they can hold the ball on the chute and let it go and it'll roll for them. Same with bowling. They can't roll the ball. We've got a little bowling ramp that they can push the ball down. So you modified things to allow them to have some opportunities to be successful. And then you don't ask them to do things that I don't anyway. I don't ask them to do things that they physically can't do.
Yeah.
You know their limitations. I've been doing unified for 18 years. So I get these kids when they first come in. I know them. I know what they can do, and I wouldn't ask them to do something that I know that they physically or mentally won't be able to grasp and be able to perform.
Okay. I think that is all. Can you bestow, if you had one thing to tell a group of rising adapted physical educators, what would you tell them? That's us.
Man, just make it fun. Make it fun for you. Make it fun for them. It's not obviously we teach our standards, we address the standards in what we do. But, make sure that you keep it, modified enough that they are success. There is some success from each individual student and athlete. Challenge those that physically can be challenged. When you have, for us, for example, we have MATP skills at one end of the gym trying to throw the ball into a basket that's 3 foot off the floor. And on the other end of the gym, we've got a 5-on-5 team running full court up and down. And it's unified. It's athletes and partners working together, but you have that vast array of skill and ability in that class. So you want to make it fun. You want to make it challenging, but you want to make it fun for you. And don't put yourself into a situation where, oh my God, I can't get Timmy to do this. Well, Timmy was never going to be able to do that. So find something that Timmy can do. And then let him have fun, and then you're going to have fun, because once they experience some success. Real quick story, I had a student, this was before we had the made the modified baskets. A dad told me that his daughter would never be able to do any type of physical activity. He snuck in one day and stood in the hall and looked through the windows at his daughter take a basketball, and I would point to a basket on the floor and she'd throw it in. And he welled up, which made me well up, because that's the first time he'd ever seen his daughter do anything physically active. So it was amazing. And all that it simply is put the basketball in her hands and say, okay, throw it right here. And they would just drop it in that basket. If you point over here, they'd rotate and drop it in the basket. To see them have some success, even though I know mentally she didn't understand what she was doing, to the point to know what success was, but the dad did. And when you see them get that emotional, it's really have fun with it. And I promise you, it'll move you. It really will.
I think we're excited. This is our last class, so
Yes.
we're getting started soon.
Yeah. Well, again, if there's anything else that comes up, you got my email address, shoot it to me. I'll answer it. If we need to set up another one of these, not a problem. I'm glad to help.
Thank you so much.
No
I will reach out to you if we need any other information, or if, when I eventually find a job, I can reach out to you.
Please do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
You too.
You.